Germany, you have brought so many wonderful originals to the Netflix platform. Dark, Babylon Berlin, How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. Those are just 3 of my favorites. Now we get a holiday-themed movie with Christmas Crossfire. Does this continue Germany's winning streak? A man foils an attempted murder, then flees the would-be killers with their intended target. All the while, a woman he's just met is trying to find him. Sam and Edda meet one night at a bar, and then the next day decide to go to Edda's hometown, a place that she's not been for at least 5 years. As they get to the small town, Sam prevents a group of men from killing someone, and then that makes him the target, and then the chase begins. This is an odd film. Now, even though it takes place during Christmas time, and there are Christmas elements that you can see throughout the film, as well as in the title, I wouldn't call this a Christmas movie at all. And as I was watching this, I was really trying to figure out what the point is. Is it just a chase movie, or is there more to it? Part of the story is certainly a commentary on toxic masculinity. There are multiple conversations dealing with being a real man or being manly. And we have several different types of examples of men in this. There's the smart and sensitive person who prefers to think through things, to not just act, to really listen to the wisdom, to examine everything that's going on and not resort to violence right off the bat. There's outright bravado where there's this display of chest-pounding dominance. We have somebody who's love-struck. They are wearing their heart on the sleeve and they are willing to risk everything for the sake of love. You have the quiet follower, somebody who just goes along with what they're told, even though they don't necessarily agree with it, but they're not willing to stand up or speak out against it. You have the disapproving father, somebody who holds on to hurts and disappointments, which only continues to damage relationships. And you have those that demand respect. They believe that they deserve something they haven't earned. There are also some instances in this where it's a comedy of errors, except without the comedy. Situations spiral out of control because of somebody's actions, and then tragedy occurs. But unfortunately, most of the time, there isn't any type of resolution to these tragedies. As the would-be killers chase Sam, we do get a little bit of character development. But it's not really enough to endear me or even engage me in the majority of the players. We don't even get to know Sam enough to have a good connection with him or his well-being. And same goes for Edda. I mean, they both look like they could be sympathetic people, like somebody that we would want to root for, but we don't really know enough about them to really care. And that affects the tenseness of the chase, because if I'm kind of ambivalent on my characters, then their outcome, not such a big deal. The span of the movie is only a few short hours, and they pack a lot into this chase. But that's pretty much the entire movie. And while I did like some of the themes and the messages that they raised throughout the story, it's not enough to make this a really worthwhile watch. We have too many characters that we don't know anything about. We have other characters who just kind of appear out of nowhere without any context. And then we also have storylines that are extraneous in an effort to really add some complication and maybe some interest, but it doesn't. And then to top it all off, the movie just kind of ends. So there's an hour and 45 minutes of my life I just don't get back. There's no sex, some nudity, a lot of profanity, and violence. I give Christmas Crossfire 2 out of 5 couches. What are you watching right now? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe. I'm Chris. This is Movies and Munchies. Thanks for catching with me.